and they are not finally they are not even meeting the international standard. Looking at, they are talking about IPPIS and UTAS. They also want the UTAS. Why the government want the IPPIS? But they should come to one table. Let's go for this and let's have it. So that is it.
I'm going to throw the phone lines open, get reaction, especially from students and people who are associated to this union, lecturers as well, to of course get their say on this conversation. The numbers to call 081355 42321, 081355 42321. 09128630377, Looking at the demand from ASU, I think it got across. I used to be a student in, of course, here in Nigeria, and while being a student, there are a lot of abnormalities I noticed in our educational system. Quality of education, like you talked about, the lack of facilities and equipment to carry out some certain research in a university is below standard, and it is to a large extent affecting the quality of students that graduate from these universities. And to that, we have people who are not competent enough to meet up to the life challenges and demands of the country. So we don't have productions from these students that are graduating from our universities. That show you how deteriorating our universities have been. And do we have to blame that to the federal government alone? Because they have refused to meet up to the standard or to meet up to the demands of ASU?
Not really.
The question I'm asking is, are we going to blame the government alone, not meeting up the standard, not meeting up the demands of ASU? The state of our university, is it just based on the federal government not doing as much as they should concerning the requests from ASU, the state of our university? Are we saying the government is fully responsible for the reason why our universities is the way they are at the moment?
Well, they are not strictly responsible. You know that this university equally generate funds. Are you aware?
I'm aware.
Yes.
Very, very much aware.
Have you ever asked where is the funds going to? There are some certain things also who as well help based on the internal generated revenue from the universities. So those basic ones that are needed. I could remember during when I was a student, I was the president of the faculty. I could remember how we realized on certain things and fix some certain things in the school that at least in our own department that is not
even while I was in school that happened as well.
Yes,
so you
that
feel that the school can generate funds to
settle the little part of it
that they can. So
yes, they can.
Why do you think it has not really helped universities this much? I mean, as much as it should help the university.
It can't help university that much because their funds generation is small.
It's small, but don't you think that there are some internal leakages in universities as well? A little bit of corruption here and there.
Yes, corruption. Yes, there is. That is another area to look into. The high level of corruption in the system is extremely high. So it should be mitigated. It really should be mitigated. But mitigating the process, it requires a whole lot. So government from their own angle should actually do the demands of ASU. Because let the government do their own first. Why ASU do their own from their own angle?
All right. Okay, I'll go on a short commercial. When I come back, a whole lot right here on 99.5 Wish FM, Nigeria's Business Radio. Stay with us.
happen now. No bonus for
Kiamadi here in the studio, not the university. It's a person in the studio. Welcome once again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we have been talking about ASU and they're threatening to go on strike if the federal government do not meet up with their demand. I mean, this is the demand that have been lingering since 2009, and they needed a renegotiation. Of course, an agreement. ASU is pushing for a full implementation of the 2009 agreement, which has been pending for years. The union submitted a draft agreement in December 2024, but it has yet to be signed and implemented. Why is the federal government scared? Is this, would even say scared or being adamant of adhering to the demands of ASU? Is that they don't see the importance? We have mentioned several times that the school really need to be upgraded, really need to, boost up the facilities in the universities, but it does look like the federal government are being lackadaisical in adhering to the demands of ASU and the universities for some reason that I really still cannot understand. It's really a funny situation, and aside strike, like you said, the dialogue has been on and on and on, and it does look like nothing is happening, and then we'll have to fall back to strike because that's only the language that the federal government understands. But now we want to see, we also look at ways where internally universities, the unions of universities can see how they can, of course, generate income to do the little that they can. Is it that there are some internal, what I call it, mismanagement and also some sorts, if might go to that angle? Are they kind of some?
Yes, possibly yes. There could be. That should be like maybe internal politics, leadership problem among us or as a union. That could be the one of the reason why what actually they have within their own premises are not being utilized. So that should be one of the reasons. Another will happen to be accountability questions.
Okay.
Where critics argue that ASU focuses more on salary rather than allowances, rather than the internal crisis and reforms you get. So what it means is accountability question. You, the little that I've given you, are you accountable for it? So far, that is
Well,
another.
quickly, let's just take this call. We'll come back to you. Hello, good morning and welcome to Parliament. Yes, Christian, welcome.
Yes, I think each time we discuss this issue is a vexing issue for me. And the question that comes to mind that should come to mind for all of us is that what is the problem, or where does the problem lie that it appears we are not able to do this thing the way civilized society are doing this thing?
Exactly, but the question is, how do they do
Is it lack of fund?
Uh-huh.
Is it lack of fund? Because I know there are countries that don't have the kind of money that Nigeria has. Yes, the university system are running seamlessly. I think for me, the problem lies with the quality of human beings around these spaces that I'm talking about. And quality in this sense does not mean academic height. Because I told you I was in university yesterday. I was supposed to meet about 3 or 4 lecturers. You understand?
Yes.
And we discussed and said, I told you the money. These are people who train students to come and become better students. The school is not well managed. Let me give a practical example. You know how much students pay students around the school environment, pay for your accommodation out of the school. As I example, the management of the school, don't they do them that they can go and put money and build hotels around the school there and collect this money for years and money from it? You're teaching people how to manage business when they become graduates, but you cannot even manage a school, and you are a professor. All of them, they are almost all the people I met, both the staff that are working, all of them are professors, associate that. And yet, you cannot make that same thing, and every day you come to talk about government is not able to manage Nigeria. It's the quality of human beings. I mean, has nothing to do with education.
The quality of humans that we have.
Yeah, because in terms of consciousness.
Right.
And that speaks a lot about our morality. You can see the kind of thing that goes on. A professor to be a small girl or 40 dollars, all those kind of things. And you say you're educated. We are at the
It's quite sad. Before I come back to you, take more calls. The numbers to call is 081 355 42321, 081 355 42321, 091 286 30377, 091 286 30377. Send us a message in our WhatsApp portal. SM number 081 355 42321, 081 355 42321. 09128630377. That's the number to call. Let's get to hear from you.
All right. Still talking about internal crisis.
Exactly.
Rambling ASO. Another is, I think, is rigid negotiation. The process at which they negotiate, the negotiation style
It's rigid.
is rigid. Yeah, it's rigid. A situation where it's rigid because in the sense that the compromise between ASO, there's a compromise between ASO and the government often prolong the crisis. Now, when that crisis arises within ASO, the government uses it as an opportunity to prolong the demand. So it's actually the rigid negotiation of the ASO is one of the things that actually make government to feel adamant about the demand.
All right, we have more. That as a result of the compromise in ASO, the internal issues that ASO got, it has led to poor condition of the university. One of those poor conditions now could be the members struggling for poor remuneration, and then going as much as employing unemployable graduates. I think I saw that particular story. I think that was last week, where we hear that some universities go as far as bringing in unemployable graduates to come lecture the student, and that to a large extent is very detrimental to our universities.
Exactly. Very, very. When you employ people that is unqualified, especially we know that you could employ of a lecturer, you could employ a master degree holder. But when you employ less than that, it's unemployable.
And sometimes, anyways, well, you could say master degree holder, but then again, even though I have a reservation when it comes to that employing, what they call it,
most times, the first class
parameters. Those employable parameters, sometimes I've got my reservation when it comes to that. I wouldn't want to go to that conversation now, because sometimes it could be that you have a PhD and yet you can't even pass the information across from your heads to the students. It's another issue that we face in the university. Let's also look at university autonomy. It's another situation as to demanding, what I call demanding the restoration of university autonomy, citing unlawful dissolution of governance council and imposition of political appointees. The union also wants the end to the erosion of Senate power through National Universities Commission centralized curriculum. That's another one. And then the major issue we keep talking about, the integrated payroll and personal information system, ASU rejects the IPPS, describing it as a corruption laden, and accusing the government of pushing the lecturers who rejected. The union also cited unmerited third-party deduction and non-payment of promotion arrears over 4 years in many universities. Corruption, again, in little things like this, we can never cease to end. Is it like the question did talk about, said it is a problem of the people. We are not conscious of the things that we do as a people. He will also always make a reference to the fact that being a government or being the people does not remove us from being responsible from the situation we go through, that we're all responsible for what we go through because of the people that we are. Is that the reason why we go through what we go through in this country?
No. Basically, no, actually.
Are we not to be blamed for the character that we exhibit in not just the university, not just in our political power, but as an individual?
Yes, as an individual, any character you exhibit, you should account for it. You'll be blamed for it. Just as you rightly, analyze. Corruption is one of the key things. One of the key things. But also, in the other way around, they want to have this autonomy. Just as is rightly said, where the NUC should actually have they should be charged with the responsibility of appointments on universities, lecturers, ranges to Senate and all that. But what you should note is this: the NUC, they are called the body charged with managing universities and all that. But do you look at it like NUC, who is actually an agency of the government, and the other way around, could they actually handle all those processes that ASU actually requested? That is another thing, because of the high level of corruption in the system.
All right, let's look at the statement from Zonal Coordinator ASU Abuja Zone. His name, Professor Almin Abdullahi, made a call a news conference on Monday in Abuja. He said that there's a crisis that is affecting universities in Nigeria, and it is not just a problem of ASU, it is a problem of the entire country. Said the purposeful mortgage of the nation's future and the endangerment of the generation is yet unborn as a result of the nation's disregard of education. Until Nigeria has a university system that assures effective education, excellence in research, and effective and sustainable national development, the academic staff union universities will not give up, he said. Now, this is to say, people feel that this is just mere words, that to a large extent the academic staff union has ASU not majorly fighting for the students, they're majorly fighting for themselves. Is that true?
In discourse, just as is rightly clear,
Mm-hmm.
is they're not fighting for themselves.
They're really fighting for the
They're
students.
fighting for the
They're
students,
fighting for the educational
for the
system.
education system of the
Nigeria.
country.
Mm.
Looking at the global ranking of universities, you barely see Nigerian universities rank among top 100. It's not there. The last time it came up, I think, around, that was should be Ahmadu Bello University or something.
Mm.
They rank around thousands, which is very, very unhealthy. And we are known as, as the most populous black nation. So Nigeria should, the government of Nigeria should actually take a decision, education as one of the key area of whatever thing they have to do. Education are really underfunded in Nigeria. They are really underfunded. The most ones that are being funded are mismanaged. The little the government was able to fund is mismanaged. So everything lies on individuals. When you are being given a certain thing to do it and do it very, very well.
All right, he further mentioned that it's impossible for a nation to advance or develop beyond the level of standard of its university system. Is that in spite the successive administration in Nigeria have made the decision to underfund, they actually made the decision to underfund universities on a system basis, which has resulted in the nation's institution having deteriorating infrastructure, overcrowded classroom, laboratories that are inadequately equipped, of course, and hotel amenities and inhabitable, he said. Of course, it is really sad that we still have universities that are not equipped. So what exactly are the students learning from an unequipped facility?
Absolutely.
Which is really, really sad. Alright, before we draw the curtain close, let's see if we can take a few calls from listeners 081 355 42321, 081 355 42321, 091 286 30377, 091 286 30377. Hello, good morning and welcome. Hello? I think we lost that there. Please keep the calls coming. 081 355 423 21, 081 355 423 21. Since we said we should keep on dialoguing. Well, let's hope that will work. But aside dialoguing, don't you think that this strike action, maybe if they do it rightly, maybe because now they're calling on both NAS to get involved with the whole strike action, don't you think it will maybe just turn the whole situation around?
Well, it could actually, based on the government of the day, if the government of the day have human sympathy, it will last long. The strike will not last long. But a situation, but they should not look at it like they are going for strike. Let it be that our what we are requesting must be met before we embark on strike. No, it should be a warning strike. Why they are releasing a warning strike? Why government are beefing up, trying to see that let's reach the demand.
Again, are they speaking the minds of the students, the Nigerian students?
Indirectly, they are not. The reason is you are going to strike is affecting the students.
What do you think the students want now from the government or from ASU? What do they want from us? What do they want ASU to do?
What they want ASU to do is they should keep on dialoguing with the government.
Do you know
why
ASU? Do you know a funny thing? It does look like the students' union is not even speaking up to tell the government what they want or even speak in relation to the house, because this directly involve or affect them to a large extent.
Yeah, it's true, because
it does look like they are under the influence of the unions of the university, and they don't even have the say on their own, because the students are seeing a different thing, and they have people who are heading them, people who are leading them, who are supposed to speak up for them, but are still not doing anything. At the end of the day, they will be back there to their homes, being used as a tool to carry out what ASU demands.
Well, that is the truth, but you should understand that you're a student, and as a student, you want to learn. And the situation, if ASU should be on strike, you will not learn anymore. But the demand of ASU is, give us what we want, while we lecture the students using the state-of-the-art facilities that you brought us, the government. But these students from the other way around, from the other hand, is they all just want to learn. They don't even care. All they want is let the ASU, let the university lecturers teach them why the government meets the requirements of ASU.
All right. We also have NANS here. Before we wrap up, what NANS has is National Association of Nigerian Students threatening to shut down critical infrastructure nationwide if the federal government fails to meet the demands of the academic
It's
students.
fine.
Yes, it is fine, but are they speaking the minds of the people? Are they speaking the minds of the students, or are they speaking the minds of ASU? Let's just agree that this is what the student wants, or ASU have to collaborate with NANS to ensure that this happens. Because the Assistant General Secretary Emmanuel Adejumo, in an interview on Monday, expressed deep concern over ASU's latest threat. But again, are they speaking the minds of ASU, or they're speaking the minds of the students?
From the student community, I think they're speaking the mind of the student.
All right.
Now, because the student affairs now, because they want to shut down the critical infrastructure of the country. That is where the money comes from.
Okay. Of course, that's a way of going about this strike. But let's take this call and then come back to you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Chris.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you calling from?
And good morning to my good friend Elechi Amadi. My name is John Peters.
Thank you, sir.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Oh, welcome, John Peters.
Thank you. I really appreciate Elechi for the detailed analysis he has given, and I want to say that it has always been the case. You know, when you check your pocket and there is nothing there, you want to see how you can raise alarm so something can go. That's what I'm thinking ASU wants to do right now. Election are they not the cause of this problem? The processors, the problem that we are having in this country, are they not the cause? Election, anytime there is election, who are the determinant factors in the election? If they can stand their ground and say that things must be done rightly, and they deliver elections the way it's supposed to be, and vote count and credible candidates emerge, won't those candidates consider their plight? For how long? Since 2009 till today, how many years now? We are still talking of the same thing. Since 2000, I listened to a program today and they said cumulatively for the past 20 years, ASU has gone on strike for 5 years. Cumulatively. So which means academic session, the years, 5 years have gone and we are still there. And now NANS is also coming up. NANS is, but during the military era, it was students' union that was holding this country. They say you are not moving, you are not moving. I'm talking about military era, and now we are talking about civilian era, and things are still like this. Critical assets, which one? Tomorrow, when they come up again making noise, then one governor, one senator will just call them in, and the case is settled. Pocket will become rich and all that. If they are serious, by now they should have been at the airport, locking down the airport. And once that is done, you know that all these big people that will be affected and things will be done. For this thing to be gotten rightly, the professors ASU, they should go back to their offices, have proper meetings, deliberate on issues about how the electoral system should be corrected. That is the bane of the problem here. Once that is corrected, because they are the ones that are always at the forefront conducting these elections, once that is corrected, I'm telling you that their demand will be met. And students will no longer be suffering every year's strike. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, John Peters, for your time. And this is where we want to draw the curtain close. But on partition, before we let you go, your partition, please, before you leave, what you say?
Well, before I leave, all I have to say is dialogue should be the key. They should keep on dialoguing with the federal government on that of the NAS, shutting down the systems like maybe institution of government. It don't actually do a very good to the people of Nigeria. So let's also on the federal government should keep on dialoguing, and they shouldn't make their dialogues to be more rigid. So that is my last thing.
But before we go, yeah, the statement by the General Secretary Emmanuel Adejuwon said, "Let it be record, or let it be on record, if the strike is not averted, we will bring the country to stand still until the future of Nigerian students is secured." Those were the words of the Assistant General Secretary Emmanuel Adejuwon in an interview. This is where we got draw the curtain close on the Parliament here on 99.5, which FM Nigeria's business radio. Chris, the main man, is my name. This is the Parliament. It comes away every day of the week. Tomorrow we'll bring you another edition. I did this with Elechi Amadi. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, and this is Wish 99.5 FM. Next up is the headline news at 11. So we don't stand with the wire.
Alright, thanks so much. Because how was I'm also a student.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
So
said
how
okay.
no like
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, you try. I think you can what do you call it? You can improvise. You can be one thing about this castle is being continuous. Yes, okay, thank you so much.
so that one everywhere you hear it, everything about the doctor intercede you know is continuous. That's the key word everywhere. That's what they will start with.
They will start with spontaneous. You know how to maneuver your way. That's why you need to read wide. Spontaneity comes with reading wide, being fast. You can come from different angles and put them together. That's where it can help. So that while you're on the spot, you bring up a topic, you bring up a conversation, and be able to explain. You have words to say, you have to say. I can ask you a question now. You from that my question, direct it to your comfort zone. So that's best for this. So this very well. I think it's what the earlier I said to prepare to be more confident. So you can preparation and confidence. You basically be a big balance in the conversation. This is really well. I'll invite you again and get down to say it to the balance. You're doing very well. Thank you. Alright, man. Okay. Are you supposed to have this book where we can talk about it?
No, tomorrow.
Okay, you have a program here?
Yeah,
Just say, let me take the news so you see how I can out here. Are you into politics?
Yes.
Big time.
Big time, yeah.
You're from Rivers State?
Yes.
I'm into politics. One thing about being into politics is know your own to into politics. So you don't just come into politics because you into politics. Have a need. Do you understand? Like if you want to do politics from a media point of view, that is where you have to study between women so that be a voice. I don't know why it's like that, but that's very exciting for them now. So I don't want to take it everywhere where you'll be uneducated or you don't have much to offer to the people, and then you'll be in position to provide them fast. So what aspect of broadcasting yours is?
Me.
Huh?
Me.
What aspect of broadcasting do you want to do?
Aspect of broadcasting.
Yes, what area of broadcasting? Where's your major interest in?
Major interest is newscasting and just newsroom.
You want to? Oh, let's see how it goes. Let me just take a look.
What did happen now? No bonus for all my life. No panic, as MTN don't carry better gist come. Every 6 minutes you talk, MTN go dash you 3 extra minutes. Fiam to enter MTN better gist. Dial *123 *2 *1 hash or text BG to 312. T and C's apply.
I've turned it off.
Yes, this streaming.